Hey everybody. I'm gonna let some more people tune in and get here before I get started. Say a few things before I get into story time. Yeah. Hey everybody. I was going to hey everyone. I was going to open up some things that people sent me, but I'm gonna do it tomorrow because on weekends I don't do story time. And I appreciate all the stuff I got. Got a lot of lashes and some nails and some other stuff people sent me. But I'm going to open it tomorrow because, it's the weekend. And plus, I don't, I just come live. I don't do story time. So, yeah. I'm good. Thank you, Tiffany. Let me see. Okay. I'm gonna wait for a few more people to get in here. And story time today, I'm gonna talk about a babysitter I had at a young age. For one reason I'm gonna talk about this is because I hope a lot of cars don't start driving by. Go ahead, honey, drive. One reason I'm gonna talk about this is because I know a lot of people probably can relate. You know, a lot of people probably had this problem when they was younger, or they might have some babysitters now that they need to watch out for. So I'm just going to talk about one of my experiences with a babysitter that my dad and stepmom had got for us as a kids. Thank you, everybody. Hey, everyone. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead. Like I said, I'm going to open some stuff up tomorrow because it's the weekend, and plus I don't do story time, so it's just something for me to do. But yeah, I appreciate everybody that sent me something, and it just depends, how much stuff comes in every week that I'm going to do it on live and open up things. But thank you for everybody that sent me something. I got a lot of lashes people sent, nails, stuff for my daughter. So I'm probably going to open some stuff up, and then the stuff that's for my daughter, I don't know how I'm going to do this. When I take it to her, get her to open her stuff, something like that. That's probably how I'll do that, y'all. I'm good, everybody. All right, I'm gonna just go ahead and get started. And also, I've been leaving the lives up. I don't know what's going on when I do story time. It seems like it's just taking a long time for them to upload. So, but I'm going to be leaving it up. It's probably it's been taking probably like an hour or 2 hours before it finishes processing. But yeah, if y'all come in late or whatever, it's going to be up, but it's probably not going to be, up fast. It's been taking a few hours. So yeah. Thank you, TH. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Good, Liz. It's been all right. That happens to me, girl. It takes forever. Thank you, Coco. Yeah, I don't know why. It used to, like when I did lives and YouTube was reviewing them, they went up fast. But now that YouTube says they don't have to review it because I've been on here for a little minute or whatever, and I just review it to see how it gets monetized, now it's just taking forever. So I don't know, but I'm leaving them up. I'm not going to be racing no more like I have already done because I already told y'all why. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get into this story time. Like I said, it's gonna be about a babysitter that I had. This is just one incident. I probably got a few more, but I'm just gonna tell y'all one incident that I had with a weird babysitter. Okay. So, like I told y'all, I was with my dad and stepmom. I hope people just don't keep riding by. I've never seen this many people just ride by through here. So yeah, my stepmom and dad had got this one babysitter. She was a female, but it really doesn't matter. Hey, blessing. It really doesn't matter nowadays or back then either, if it's a male or a female. Just to let a lot of people know. So I was about 8 years old, 9 years old. Okay, just making sure, Tiffany. I was about 8 or 9 years old, and my stepmom and dad got us a babysitter, for when they go out, you know, at night, whatever, or, just for whenever. Anyways, I think she was probably about, she wasn't no older female. She was probably like 17, 18. Let's just say 17, 18. Okay. Maybe 16. I don't really know. I don't remember. But, everything, I guess my parents basically felt that it was okay since they got us a female babysitter, nothing would happen. Nobody would touch us, nothing like that. Okay. That's what they thought. And, as kids, we are scared, to tell our parents. We don't know what's going to happen. So I never did mention this to my parents or none. If I did, I'm sure a lot of stuff probably would happen. But kids are always scared if somebody does something to them. We're not going to, go and tell and, certain things like that. But anyway, she was a new babysitter. Everything was going good, the first few times that she babysat us. I recall one day, I think she did it overnight because my parents stayed gone somewhere, went to a club and then got a hotel or something. So she did it overnight to watch us. And me and my sister shared a room. My brother, two stepbrothers shared a room. So everybody was asleep and I was in bed asleep. And all of a sudden I, felt somebody laying beside me. Now some people are walking by, y'all. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. I don't want people to hear me talking and then another person's walking by. Hey, how are you? Okay. Anyways, so basically, I was laying in the bed and I woke up because I felt somebody laying in the bed with me. So I just probably thought it was, my sister or, whatever. But I woke up and it was the babysitter. It was the female babysitter I had. And she started, touching on me and stuff like that. And, I'm young. I didn't know what was going on. So, I was probably just shocked. But, kids, I'm just now waking up. We don't know what's going on. And she was, I was probably about to scream or something or, something like that. But she was like, just be quiet. You want to play house. I know a lot of people probably heard that saying so many times when you're little. And as a kid, I'm thinking in my little mind, like house, like you play with your Barbie dolls or, whatever. She's like, yeah, let's play house. And I was like, okay. And she was like, yeah, I'll be the, what did she say? It was some type of little role playing that she was doing and telling me to be like her boyfriend or girlfriend. I can't really remember too much of it. And I was just, basically I wasn't really going along with it, but I was probably more scared than anything. But I really didn't really, yell or scream because I don't know why. Who was I gonna scream for? My brothers and sisters are asleep. So basically, she just kept touching on me, and I just really laid there. I wasn't, playing around with her, or none of that. And plus, it was just really weird because at that age, our parents didn't teach us nothing. I mean, not at that young age. They didn't say, like, if somebody touches you, tell us. If this is right, this is wrong. So I didn't know what was right, what was wrong. We didn't have those talks at that age. And you're just kind of like, you know when somebody's more mature than you, like another female, and you're a kid, you're like, you never seen that type of stuff before, so you're kind of like in shock and like, wow. But anyway, so this happened more than once, but this was the first time. So basically, she just kept touching on me, saying that, if anybody ever, basically putting stuff in my head. If anybody ever asked, we just played house. This is normal. Let's, don't never tell your parents. Just let them know that, I played house with you, that sort of thing. Just putting all type of stuff in my head. So anyway, so basically, at this time, she was just really touching me, and basically, she didn't never really stick nothing in me. It was just mostly like hunching, touching, that sort of thing. I'm trying to think. Yeah, that it happened multiple times, and for a minute I was thinking that it was normal, because people, when you're young, people can put stuff in your head and make you believe certain things, like this is normal, But now, if I would have told my dad, he probably would have killed the lady or whatever. But then we don't know no better. She learned that from someone, guarantee. Yeah, she probably did. That's the problem. Parents nowadays, that's the problem. They don't. They, in their mind, just like my parents' mind, they're thinking we're not going to get them a man babysitter because we have girls, innocent kids. Yeah. See, that's the problem. Even back then and nowadays. See, my stepmom, and her mind, she, because it was me and my sister. She didn't want to get us like a man babysitter, thinking, I know they might touch my kids. But now and back then, it's the females too. It's just not men. It's females molesting little kids, and it's really sick. But it's just now coming out. It's just now coming out. Like when I was in prison, I was locked up with so many women that raped kids and molest kids. But see, society really don't see that. They try to sweep it up under the rug, but it's a really lot of sick women. It's not just men, it's women too, that do this sick stuff. And you're right. I'm gonna have another story time about my aunt when we was little too. You're right. These kids, these teenagers, these women, they learn that from somebody in their family, or somebody doing that to them as a little girl, and they grow up doing this to other people. So yeah, when I got older, I told my stepmom, and she's like, well, why you didn't tell me? And like, girl, please, a kid's not going to tell their why does Zolo go live at the same time? Who knows? Kids ain't gonna tell their parents. Even you can tell your kid, and I remember growing up, and they used to always say that somebody touch you, tell us. Somebody touch you, tell us. But that's not how it's gonna go, because kids are scared. They're scared. They're just scared. They're innocent and they're scared. So anything that ever happened to me, I never mentioned nothing as a kid. I don't know. I was just always scared. And I think that's how it is for a lot of these kids that have been touched or whatever, now. They're too scared to go and tell their parents. But when they get older, basically it's too late. And then they try to say something, like me. I don't know if she ever did it to touch my sister or my stepbrothers. I don't know, because at the time it was going on with me, everybody was asleep, and I really never ever asked my sister. Yeah, I never did ask my sister, and she never really brought it up to me either, or my brothers. So I really, I don't know. I only told my stepmom, and she was just like, "Why you didn't never tell nobody?" But why would I tell somebody at that young of an age? Y'all should have put. Well, I don't think Kimber's was up, but they should have investigated and not try to get a young. Hey, Tanya, somebody young to watch their kids. That's a teenager, and seeing what type of person they was getting to watch their children also. Yeah, nowadays you got to be careful too, because yeah, people have cameras and stuff, but it's still easy. I don't trust nobody. I wouldn't trust nobody. Even family members are disgusting. Like I wouldn't trust nobody around my kids, not even a daycare. There's some sick people there too that abuse kids. So I don't know. I'll be watching my own kids. I just don't trust it. Pick on one so that it's not talked about, and someone saved me too. Mm-hmm. Family would get you before a stranger. Facts. Oh yeah, I have more stories on that. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, family. Yeah, I don't trust nobody. I just wouldn't be. I wouldn't work. I would be taking care of watching my own kids. No daycare, no nothing, because the world is sick, nasty, and disgusting. And people that's went through it as kids, or even if they haven't went through it, you never know what your own kid has went through. I've always tried to make sure I was protected over my kids, and never thought that my kids would go through what I went through. But just by them being with, because in my mind, them being with this 70, 80-year-old woman, that my kids was good. But that was wrong. I was wrong, because she had, her son coming in and out, and, touching on my kids now that they're old enough to tell me, and still having, the ones that's kidnapped, and he's around those. And it's just crazy that you can't trust nobody at all. Well, my kids didn't go to daycare until they could talk. Yeah. And then even when you can talk, you're still scared. Like now, with my daughter, like she's in so much therapy, and it's been going on for about, we've been trying to get her to talk for probably a good year now. Yeah, probably about a good year, and we cannot get it out of her. So they can go press charges and find, the babysitter and her son with the other two kids. But she's too scared. She says that she feels like that he's going to come back and get her or find her if she tells anything. She's done told me bits and pieces, but they want to hear it from her. And then, yeah, they want to hear it from her so they can press charges. But it's just, now that she's even away from him, she's still scared, and I don't know, she just does not want to talk about it. You know, every once in a while, if I'm having a conversation with her, she'll just, come out the blue. But see, me, I can't handle it. I can't do it. So that's why I try to get the therapist to help me with her. I go crazy. If I hear anything like that, like I would literally just lose my mind. So she knows she cannot talk to me about that at all, because I don't know how to handle that type of stuff. But she don't want to tell nobody else who she needs to tell, because she's scared, so they can go press charges and stuff and find this guy. So yeah, it's still hard. Even though they can talk and stuff, it's still hard. It's like they're so scared. Like, it's crazy. She will when her time is right. Yeah, I'm hoping so. on one that's not talked about. Is someone say me too? Yeah. When I do my side hustles, I can't. That's the manipulation. They make you believe that no one will help. And if they do, they will come for you. I know that feeling. Yes, they do. Yeah, it's just too much. And hopefully I can get, and even though that you're in therapy and stuff like that, like it's just crazy that kids even have to go through that, because they're not going to forget that the rest of their life. They're gonna always have problems. I mean, it's not easy. I never thought in a million years that this would happen to my kids. Ever, 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 ever. Please. Hey. Hey, Life with Tenny. Yeah, Tiffany. The therapy just helps to cope. Yeah, and it barely does that, It barely does that. I mean, they're still gonna have to deal with that the rest of their life, and especially as a parent, when you know that you feel like you couldn't do nothing about it. Like, I hate that feeling like there's nothing you can do about it. And this lady, there's something about this lady. She used to have foster kids. The older babysitter Glass. She used to have foster kids, and then she got fired back in the day because somehow they said one of the foster kids got away and got pregnant or something. But for you to, how could you not know your son is doing this to my kids? How could you not know when y'all are on the run, staying in a 1-bedroom hotel? Like she acts like she's so blind. Even when I got my daughter back and was trying to find the other ones, and I told her, you would never see my daughter. She's not told me what your son did. Like, how could you not know? I have a feeling she knew everything that was going on, because you had them outside holding up a sign. She knows what's going on. You had them outside because y'all was staying in the van, because she lives off a social security check while I was in prison. And when I met her, she had a house, everything. And I would just, when I would go to work, I would pay her. When I go to the club, whatever, I pay her like $20 a night, and then go get my kids at the end of the night. But when I went to prison and I had to give her temporary guardianship, she said her son was nowhere around my kids, because me and him didn't even get along. And then now you have your son, but now all of a sudden you take my kids on the run, and you're staying in the van, and you don't have no money to get them a hotel, but you're still keeping me away from them, and I don't know where they're at. But what my daughter tells me now, that you have them outside holding a sign up, begging people for money. And then basically, she really won't tell me too much of the story, but basically she's getting to the point to where she tells little by little that you basically sold my daughters for money to get a hotel room, and just to certain things. It's just crazy. This lady, I think she knows. I think she knows what her son did. She knows what she's done, especially getting kids to hold up a damn sign on the side of the street begging people for money to get a hotel room. She knows. People, there's no way that she doesn't know. She knows, and she needs to be charged. My heart tells me she has a sick mind, and she likes to see people suffer. Yeah, she is sick. She has to be, especially all the resources they have nowadays. And you could have went to a shelter with all of them if instead of living in your van, you just didn't, because your son has a drug habit and does too much coke. And instead of doing that, you got the kids out here begging people for money and selling them to guys, and think it's okay. But these kids are they're gonna get older one day, and you probably, when I got my daughter back, she was so how do you say it? It's like she was so brainwashed, and I'm still having to get. She had your kids, yeah, still does. She has 2 of them still, but she brainwashed her so bad, and other kids, that me and the therapist are trying to unravel that brainwash, like get her back to normal. And it's really so hard. And the kids that she has now, my son is 13 and Michaela is 16. She'll be 17 in January. And God knows what she got them out there doing, especially a 16-year-old girl, you know, all the way across the world somewhere, probably in Mexico, maybe in California, nowhere near me, because she knows if I find them like I did my daughter Akira, that I would go get them, because I have custody. Hopefully my daughter would just go ahead and talk so they can go ahead and just lock these people up for life. She takes the kids and use them. Yeah, that's all she wanted my kids for, was to use them. I didn't get the picture then because I didn't have nobody to help me when I went to prison. I didn't have no family. And she was my babysitter, so I didn't want them to go to state custody because so I gave her guardianship. But I've been having my guardianship back for some years now. I think since 2017. And she's been on the run somewhere, probably Mexico or California. I don't know. I don't know where she is. My daughter makes a bunch of social medias that I found, but she'll make one and then she won't never get back on that one again, because the babysitter won't let them have phones. She won't let them have friends. She won't let them do nothing, because she knows if I find them, I'll come get them and call the police like I did when I found Akira. But she took off too fast when I got Akira to go back and get the other two with the police. She was gone by that time. Faking who they are. Yeah, they are. Yeah, she, and all the stories that my daughter tells me about the panhandling, they never have money to eat. But yet you had old paperwork, and she still has old paperwork like that. She has temporary guardianship. Even though I have my custody back, she still has the old paperwork that she's using, the temporary guardianship from before I got my guardianship back. She's using that fake paperwork to get certain things like food stamps, the stimulus money, claiming them on taxes. She's using all her fake documents when she had temporary guardianship to get all this stuff, but really that paperwork is old and she don't have temporary guardianship. I have all the new paperwork. So all she wanted my kids was for a paycheck. All that TANF, food stamps, stimulus, taxes, all that shit that this bitch is getting by using fake documents, because I have the real documents, and still selling them to men and selling them on the street, panhandling. My daughter said so many days that they went without food, sleeping in a van for days at a time because they couldn't get a hotel room. Then she said she seen her son do coke in front of the kids and drink and smoke weed and all type of crazy shit. She just, my daughter done seen so much. And then at the same time, she's brainwashing them to get them to hate me, saying that she told all the kids that I was dead. So when I found my daughter, she's like, I thought you was dead. Like, just all type of crazy shit this lady done told my kids. Like, I don't care about them. I left them. They didn't even know I went to prison. My daughter thought I left them. I abandoned them. I hate them. Just done brainwashed them, all of them. There's so many cases like this. Yeah. Anyone with skip tracing abilities can search for the lady that has your kids. Skip tracing abilities. I don't know what that is. What skip tracing abilities? Yeah, and she's been doing this for years. She's helped me out with them since they were all newborns, these three, and then she did have my son, who stays with my baby daddy's mom. She had him until he was 2, and then when he was 2, I took him away and took him to his grandma's house. So it was just, Kara, Michaela, and Jaleel that she had. And she's helped me with them since all 3 of those were newborns. But she's done, when they got old enough to know and that she can use them, then that's what she did. And the lady is I know she's like late 70s, 80 years old lady. And the son, um he's in his 30s. So yeah, she's evil, and she's gonna get. And the cover up is, she used to try to have them in church every Sunday with these dresses, their hair fixed like when they was little. Okay, just to to work the church, to use the church, should I say, just to get money and get them to help. She just is a using devil. That's all she is, just a using little ass devil. And really, is using them, working the system. Then the lady had the nerve to tell my kids that she was their grandmother. Okay, had them believing she was their grandmother. I had to tell them, this lady is not related to me. Then she told them she was getting them to call her grandma and get her son to call him daddy. Like, just brainwashing. These people ain't even related to me, and that, oh, it's too much going on. It's just crazy. She said, what? Research it. Basically, they find people. Okay, well, yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. That's always the cover up. The devil uses the Bible for his favor. Thank you, Brown Sharon, the Tarot. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, sick. There's some sick people out here. It's really just sick, and a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people cover it up so good. You would even, how people, when they look for somebody or a babysitter or somebody to help with their kids, and they go through a background check, all this can just come back good, because this lady has never even been to jail. Okay, she's almost 80 and never been to jail. Good background, everything. It doesn't matter about that. Oh my gosh, she's crazy and delusional. Yeah, she is very crazy and delusional. I can't wait to find this lady. I mean, hey TJ. And it's nothing nobody can do. I've already went to the police a million times. Courts, everything, made police reports, everything. And the problem is, they can't even do it. They wouldn't even do an Amber Alert, because they said that the kids really wasn't kidnapped because she had temporary guardianship over them. Okay. And even though that I done revoked it through the court, she still had temporary guardianship. But my point is, she doesn't have it now. So you're telling me you can't do an Amber Alert or do nothing, because when the kids were took, she had permission. So basically, it's bullshit. What they're doing, they're basically saying that when she had permission to take the kids when they was took, because I gave her temporary guardianship when I went to prison. So she had the right to take them then. And the courts also said that anytime you go over state lines, she was supposed to let the court know, but she never did that. That's what I'm trying to tell the police. But even though that her guardianship is revoked and I have my custody back, they're still trying to say that they can't do no Amber Alert or nothing like that, NCIC, because when they were took, she had permission, because she had She had temporary guardianship. So it's just all backwards what they're doing. Yes, you have the right one. I'm gonna leave it up. While temporary is not permanent. Right. Someone out there has to know this woman or seen her. Yeah, I think she's in Texas or California right now. They ain't put no warrant on her yet. Even all the stuff I done told them, they're the only way they're gonna put a warrant on her and him is as soon as my daughter talks to the therapist and say that all the stuff that he did to her and her abusing the kids, like beating them and stuff that she said that the lady did to him. So they're waiting on her to talk, but still, Georgia's so fucked up. These people ain't trying to help me. Even with me having the paperwork, I have paperwork on me all the time saying that I have custody. Hey, Mo. Yeah, I'm leaving it up, but it's been taking like an hour or 2 hours to finish uploading. So a lot of people been saying that they don't see it right then. Well, they don't see it because for some reason it's taking like a few hours to upload. So but I'm gonna leave it. Any debt collectors in here? Debt collectors have the ability to skip trades. I don't know if they use it for personal use though, but maybe. You know what? You would think all these investigators on YouTube, they can find out a lot. I've not seen them find out all this stuff about me and everything. I know they can find this lady. Well, if y'all do know her name's Gladys Godwin. I know they're probably in the Texas area or California area because they're not in Georgia right now with me. They ain't gonna be nowhere around me. Last time I talked to my daughter, Akira, she said they be in Texas and California hiding. If she's on this planet, she can be found. Yeah, she can. My profession, I can check. I'll ask her offline the info. Okay, TA. I'm trying to see what's in this. Yeah, I'm leaving that right. It says not to know this woman or her seen her. Yeah, they probably have. If she's on this flashing, that plus. And you would think that it wouldn't be hard because I just don't understand. Georgia they are so lazy when it comes and then the town that I'm in, I have even went and talked to the police, and if they was took from this little small town that I'm in, they was looking crazy when I told them the story. They would have been put warrants and found my kids. But it being Atlanta that I'm having to deal with, they lazy and they don't give a shit. Okay. But my line of work, I have access to some things. Okay, I'm gonna message you in a little while. But you would think that this lady is on Social Security. She's getting food stamps in another state for my kids. She's getting someone to file them on taxes, and I've had to even one time when I went to go file my taxes some years ago, I couldn't even do it. I had to do a paper thing or something because she kept getting someone to claim them because she can't because she's on Social Security, but she's getting other people to claim them, getting that money, and in another state, California or Texas, wherever she is, she's getting all their food stamps, TANF. Then the sick lady, oh my gosh, the sick freaking lady done sent a letter, and this was like a few months ago, and I tried to call the number back and I couldn't get a hold of nobody. Done went and tried to put me on child support, y'all. Knowing she don't have no rights to my kids, no custody, no nothing. She done went and tried to put me on child support, and I was getting child support papers in the mail. I misplaced the papers, but I remember I called and I was waiting for someone to call me back. But this lady is so psychotic. Like, I don't know what's wrong with her. Trying to get all type of money just everywhere. Like, how are you going to put me? And even when I gave this lady temporary guardianship of my kids when I was in prison, she tried to do the same shit. Put me on child support. After she's getting all this money from the state, food stamp, everything, and knowing I was in prison, when I got out, I had to, fix everything. I never paid no child support because she had temporary guardianship. She didn't have full custody, so they threw it out. But she tried to do this again, like last year or some months ago. Like, this lady's crazy. Yeah, she has to be losing it. Yeah, she's pushing 80. Yeah, something's wrong with her. I just don't get it. Like, I don't know. She's gonna be an old woman in prison. Okay. Yeah, it gets worse and worse. Yeah, it's just a little bit. It's just a headache. Um, but she's gonna be in prison pretty soon. And I promise that. As soon as I can get my daughter to talk to these people, it's gonna be a wrap for her. It doesn't matter how long it's been. It's the fact that she physically abused and verbally abused my kids, and her son done sexually molested, raped, whatever, my daughters. So it don't matter how old they was. They can go back and put warrants as soon as she talks to the therapist. I'm trying to get her to talk, but she's just having a hard time. Um, and then she just got a new therapist. And I think they fired my daughter, she's the type of kid that it's very hard for her to get close to somebody. She doesn't like talking to new people. Like, when the counselors and the therapists keep changing, and the defense workers and probation officers, when they keep changing, it really aggravates her because she feels like she has to start all over again, the process of reliving certain things. And I asked her, the therapist, because she's been in the group almost a year now, but the therapist that she's been having just left. I'm thinking she got fired because I made a complaint. And my daughter said that she told this therapist that, and probation, everybody told me once Akira start talking and she tell the therapist what these people done to her, they can go put warrants. So I asked my daughter, I said, have you told the therapist anything about what this man done did to you? She's like, yeah, I did tell her, and she told me not to worry about it, that he wasn't going to come back and get me. I said, what? I said, oh, I said, I went and I called somebody, and I said, this ain't right. How are you going to get her to start talking? And y'all saying when she did that y'all was going to put warrants on these people. Oh, well, that therapist is not here no more. That's probably one of the reasons she's not here, because of that incident. So now she got some new therapist having to start all over. Hey, Fifi. You have other kids with abusers, so they will go after them. Yeah. And the problem with that is my daughter is 16. She'll be 17 in January, and my son is 13. But I'm gonna have a lot of problems when I get them back. And she probably done said so much crap to my kids, and they are so brainwashed. Who knows if they want to even come back to me? You know what I mean? Because I say this because when I got my daughter Akira, I had to. My son is the one that went and got her, and she was like, I'm not going to go back to my mom's house. I'm not going to see my mom. And he was like, no, he had to trick her, basically. And he was like, you're going to come stay with me. So when she found out that she wasn't going to be with me, then she said that she would run away, okay? She was so brainwashed that this lady done told her all type of crazy stuff about me. She didn't even want to see me or come nowhere near me. So when my son finally brought her to me, me and her talked, but she was like 10 or 11. She was still young then, and she's going on 15 now. But me and her talked, and at first she didn't want to be with me. She was crying. She wanted to go back. And then now that she's understanding what's going on, like, I had to untangle all that brainwash this lady done did. So the problem is, ain't no telling with these kids, it's gonna be the same thing. And they're older now. Ain't no telling what she done told them. Probably the same thing she told my daughter to get them to hate me. And so it's gonna be a lot. Okay, Tanya, that's fine. That's how it is. They literally come and go how they expect someone to vent to someone when they flip-flopping. Yup. Kara feel like she can't. Nope, she can't. Yeah, I know, girl, but I really feel you can win their hearts back. She ain't gonna be alive for much longer anyways. Yeah, I probably can. It's just gonna be a process. Just like my daughter Kira, she was 11 when I got her back, 12, something like that. And it was a headache. It was so bad. She was so bad. Oh my gosh, it was horrible. But now she understands, and she's not playing about me. She loves me so much. But it's just the brainwash this lady done told them. And if it wasn't for my son, she would have never ran away. I would have never probably got her back right now as we speak, because he had to manipulate her, and he had to lie to her and be like, oh, we're not going to go to mom's house. You're going to stay with me. And he was like 17 then. He was like, you're going to stay with me. I don't even talk to her, blah, 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 just to, get her to run out the hotel room and run away. And it was a lot working with her, because she was like, I don't like her. I hate her. I don't like her. I hate her. So it's been a lot just trying to get her back, right in her mind. So yeah, it's going to be a process, especially with a 16-year-old girl. It's going to be a very, very process. And it's going to be harder with Michaela, because me and Michaela has always had problems. We've always bumped heads ever since, she was young. Because she always felt like, well, all my kids, I don't know why, because I love all my kids the same, but she always felt like that I loved or I cared for Akira more than anybody, because Akira would act out when I would take them to the babysitter and punch walls. So I would just leave the other kids, come back and get Akira, and she was always mostly with me because she would act out. So they feel some type of way. Yeah, it's a process. Hopefully it will get better. Yeah, I can't. It's gonna just have to get better. I can't get no worse, I don't think. Anybody have any questions before I go? I'm not going to, like I told y'all, on weekends, I'm not going to do story time, just Monday through Friday. What else was I going to say? Oh, yeah, and I'm going to just wait till tomorrow, since I'm not having story time, to open up everything on live. And I forgot what I was going to say. I don't know, I think that's it. Does anyone else have any more questions? While I sit here and think what I was going to say. Thank you, Rita. Hey, Bambi. Yeah, we just finished story time, and I was just asking if anybody had any questions or anything before I go. I'm going to leave the live up, but it's going to probably take a few hours to process. Thank you, Bambi. It's going to take a few hours to process, because for some reason it's been doing that, but it will be up probably within a few hours. And that's it. So anyway, y'all, if anybody just got in here, I'm going to leave it up, okay? It's probably going to take a minute to process or whatever. That's fine. You had the right one. What else was I going to say? I don't remember. All right, yeah, TH, I'm going to PM you in a minute with that. And I will see y'all tomorrow. I'm going to go live. I don't know. I'll post on my community page what time I'm going to go live and open some things up. And plus, I'm supposed to be going to see my daughter tomorrow too. So I will probably get her to open up her stuff, and then I'll just open up my stuff. But I will let y'all know on on my community thing exactly what time. Everybody have a good night, and I will see y'all tomorrow. All right. Good night, y'all.